Okay, yeah, starting a little bit early, but that's kind of fine. Anyway, we're going to set up the shares and then we should be starting. I also should set up to headphones so that it. Yeah, should also set up the headphones so that so that we avoid the blasting echo as much as possible. So there we go. More options. Share to a group. I'll probably be doing this a few times. Let's see. Community. Yeah, shares are a bit slower than usual, but we'll get there. Philippines and one more group afterwards, then we will begin. So one more share. And there we go. I think, yep, there we go. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. I'm going to set up my phone so I can view the stream site on this as well. I could technically view it on my computer, but I found that it's actually better to just have another screen. Usually because the one thing that I tend to not see are comments. I would kill to know if there's a way for Streamlabs to give like a notification ping or something when there's comments. Set up my phone so I can view. Then I should also have. And the odd thing is now I have to lower my volume as well. Anyway, solid, pretty much a solid first pick, Archangel of Wrath. And hey, Jericho Ilagan, thank you for liking the stream. Kamusta ka na? How are you doing? So, yeah, looks like Archangel of Wrath versus a 3/4 flying lifelink even without the kicker. My only concern is we're passing a lot of very good white cards between the Missionary and the Citizen's Arrest. We're passing a Lightning Strike, we're passing a Phyrexian Rager. There's a very good chance we might not get the colors we want, but I am still taking Archangel of Wrath. It's probably one of the most solid cards. If ever this was not here, I'd probably take the Lightning Strike or maybe the Bone Splinters. Maybe the Citizen's Arrest is still on the table. But we're definitely taking Archangel of Wrath. There's no reason not to. You're doing well. That's great to hear. It's always nice to see everyone do well. Now, Stronghold Arena, on the other hand, is not that kind of rare. Yeah, sure, we get to... Now, I guess a trick that we can do is we could keep our deck a bit low on the curve. And we can just choose not to reveal a card if we want to go that route. That said, it's either Stronghold Arena or Extinguish the Light here. This is a double black card, but if I don't take Extinguish the Light, we are giving up on we're giving up on black altogether. I think I would rather take Extinguish the Light here, also because there are a lot of good kicker cards for white cards that can have a black kicker. That's a probably good one. Also, there's a chance we get the arena back. Not liking the fact that we are double white into double black. At least we get some cards to... Yeah, this is like what I'm talking about. Benelish Sleeper. This is a very good white into black. This does count as removal in a sense. Otherwise, it's Resolute Reinforcements is a solid pick. Benelish Sleeper is also fine. I guess we take the Resolute Reinforcements since we get less of that. We're going to hope that we can get the Griffin Protector back. So what are we on the lookout for? I can take Artillery Blast. At the worst, this is just 3 damage. Based on the colors we have right now, we can try to go for a splash. We can go for like a Gibbering Barricade. Go for white-black Sacrifice. That is probably a thing. Battle Rage Blessing, though we could probably use some more creatures first. Though it is it's decent with with the 1/1s we're generating. That's a possibility. I think I do take the Artillery Blast. I could also just take Salvage Mana Worker. It's a way to get the off colors, but we can work on that later. Definitely taking the Griffin Protector here, though. Take up the Shield is a good one. We kind of need creatures first. And we're kind of sticking to white for the most part. This is a tough one. Captain's Call, probably the best common, but there's also Benelish Sleeper. There's probably no reason not to take the Captain's Call here. We can also be on the lookout for any more sacrifice. Another captain's call. Okay. We should be on the lookout for for that hero some effect a while ago. But yeah, we're definitely going mono white for the most part. For each creature control, yeah, sure, we're definitely taking that. I probably should start taking bone splinters as well, but we are kind of doing mostly mono white here, and that's not a bad thing. We can find ways to splash for the black, splash for the red. We can find ways around that, but we could be mono white for the most part. Like turn 4 captain's call if we have no other creatures. It sets us up for our Argivian Phalanx next turn, no matter what. Oh, well, not necessarily no matter what. If there's a wipe effect that happens, okay, we might be setting up for a bit while longer. But these are really late captain's calls. I'll take it. Let's see. And I'm basing this off early impressions, though I would not be surprised if this was named one of the best white commons. No, definitely best mono white or white X commons, that's for sure. We are kind of waiting for some of these cards to come back. Yeah, this is what I was saying. Heroic Charge is one of the cards we want to have come back. Also helps, it's again mono white, and we don't necessarily need the kicker in this case if we're going for the double captain's call. The option is nice, but we don't have to. I still want to find a way to keep the Extinguish the Light. Rest in peace, Jaya. Hot take while we're waiting for our next pack. I actually felt that in terms of War of the Spark storyline, that that probably would have been the best time for Jaya to die. Actually, it probably a bit cruel. I felt that because there were planeswalkers dying, we got really random deaths there. Dak Faden dying out of nowhere and doesn't even get a card to reflect that. When we get Dovin dying off camera, so that was not so great as well. We're gonna be on the lookout for white red black red land. I guess we can now take the Battle Rage Blessing. We probably won't have the greatest power, so that's probably not gonna be an issue. So Silver Scrutiny, we're probably not taking that. We got Aaron Benalia's Ruin, which is a decent combo with the double captain's call. There's a Love Song of Night and Day. Which is fine. 3 mana. Let's say we don't need to draw cards. We can skip to chapter 2. That's a pretty fine option. I might just take Aaron though, because being able to pump the rest of our board is pretty decent. Yeah, we'll probably take that. I'm not liking that we're passing a lot of white and black cards, but sometimes those are the breaks. Okay. Probably not splashing into green, although I would like to get that. Also, we don't have a second rare, so we'll probably be on the lookout. I could just take any whatever. Jodas Codex, we're probably not going for that. I guess we take another Benelish Sleeper over Splatter Goblin. Orborg Repossession's nuts, kind of. Probably gonna get Ageless Innovator back, but we'll definitely take up the shield. Okay, there's a Relic of Legends, which definitely fixes our mana. That's probably one of the best things we can take. Do I want it over a Splatter Goblin? Actually, let's do a sanity check. Take note of our non-creatures. It's technically 10-5 because 2 of them are Captain's Calls. I guess I can take 1 relic. Just as a hedge that we somehow do not get any of the off-color lands. Though I am probably likely to say cut the Battle Rage Blessing here. I'm not really happy with having this one, but it's still better. The artillery blast is also again, it's at worst 3 damage to a tapped creature, but it's not the end of the world. Actually, it does incentivize us to get that red splash, even if it's just for Archangel of Wrath. We do have, let's see, Shalai's Acolyte. If it was kicked, 5 mana 3/4 flying is not the worst. And we do have a Relic of Legends now as our option, so I could actually just choose to take that. All of a sudden, the mono white plan is starting to look kind of good. Okay, no, we got an Argivan Cavalier, another Benelish Sleeper. I think 2 is enough. We probably will take a Cavalier this time. We want to spread our board as wide as we can, most especially because of Aaron. Yeah, we'll get to what I was saying. What? Not a fan of the... Well, it is a 1 mana creature. And I probably don't want to run Battle Rage Blessing, so yeah, we'll just take it. We probably... Oh, Fire Action Warhorse is a good option here. It does... Again, it helps our go wide plan. We are missing removal, though. I might end up having to take Destroy Evil. Yeah, I think we might have to take the Warhorse. I don't know why I was hesitating there. Beats me. Just hate the Fire Nado. So Meteorite is another splash. Is another way to splash. I guess I will take this, but we probably should start taking more creatures at this point. We are 13 and 6. Again, Captain's Call, it counts as a creature. Vanquisher's Axe, also an option. Not a fan of the mana cost, but it does give us a way to make our tokens a better threats and that along those lines. Anyway, let's see what our last pack has for us. Ooh, Weatherlight completed. Oh wow, this is a tough one. Well, not so tough. I'll explain why. We will have a lot of creatures dying because of Captain's Call, so Weatherlight completed is gonna be our best choice here. Now, Send Your Connoisseur, I want to take this one, but it's double black, and again we're mostly white. Also, I am one rare short, so I will take the Mythic. Yeah, we're going for Greed. Aggressive Sabotage, not exactly what we're going for. Haunted Mire, all it does is help the Artillery Blast, so not that great. There's a Lagomos, which is in both of our splash colors, though we are running more reds, more black, so we could just go for the red splash. I'll take it as an option, but I'm probably not gonna run it. Another... Okay. So we have Frightful Return. Resolute Reinforcements again. I did say we do need creatures. Necromass is fine. We do have Sacred Peaks as our splash that we're looking for. I probably want to take the Resolute Reinforcements. But there's a very good chance the Sacred Peaks does not wheel, and this is probably our surest way. It allows us to cut Relic of Legends, for example. Yeah, we're gonna take the Sacred Peaks. I don't, as much as I don't like giving that one up, we kind of have to. And now's probably a good time to take the Bone Splinters, but that means we need to start paying attention to our spells. We probably cut Artillery Blast, even though we need... Oh, perfect. Sunlit Marsh also good, but we're definitely taking Elas Ilkor because we're going to have so many creatures on the battlefield, and potentially there are going to be so many dying as well. So we're at 14 and 7, so not too bad. 2 of them are mana rocks, though this one is a stretch to call a mana rock. I could just cut this. Like, there's an argument for just running the Artillery Blast, cutting the Meteorite. Because we only need the red splash for Archangel of Wrath, if ever. Here's Tattered Apparition. I could run the beachfront as a way to max out even more. I can speculate on it by having Marius Outrider. That's an option. Tattered Apparition, not exactly what I'm looking for. I guess I take the Outrider, but I'm probably not gonna run it. Yeah, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 2 drops. 1, 2, 2, 3 drops. So we kind of need to make sure we hit 4 mana. So that's why Relic of Legends is more important. Once we get the Captain's Call, we're kind of going off. We are surprisingly running out of creatures. So just take a stall. We have one stall for time already. That is an option. I already have one take up the shield. I don't feel like I need a second one. Okay. Ooh, Garna, but the double red is scaring me. It is a good argument for Gibbering Barricade. Gain 1 life and draw a card. It is our card draw effect. We do have a Destroy Evil as well. I probably want to actually take that because 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're kind of short on removal. And just when I say that, we get another Artillery Blast. I can't take Wrath, unfortunately. Aggressive Sabotage, not where we want to be. Shadow Prophecy is possible. More likely, though. I'll take the Necromass as an option. We do have creature... But that's a good question. How many creatures do we actually need to have die for this to be good? So this is 7 mana. If 2 creatures die, that's a 5 mana 5/5. It's 3 creatures. 3 to 4 creatures is actually decent already. We just have to remember that not all our spells are actual creatures. I'm probably gonna run this as is. I'm a bit more wary about our black though. Thankfully, black is just minimal. It's at 5, so 9/8. We can actually go 9/7/1. We can make adjustments to our spells as we go along. I could just, let's say, run another Artillery Blast instead of Bone Splinters, but we only have 2 pieces of actual hard removal. Okay, the Benelish Sleepers kind of count. Okay, we'll run this as is for now. We'll see how this pans out. I'm not so it's probably the most straightforward deck, which is actually kind of scary because there are a lot of domain decks running around, and having access to just more powerful cards is a thing. We're just kind of hoping that our consistency beats that. So wish me luck. Let's see if we can at least get right off the bat. At least most of our cards are just single white. So turn 2 Herbalist, turn 3 Sleeper if we have to. Also, this is actually better. It's not really an ETB. So Aether Channeler, return. Okay. I could Benelish Sleeper just to get this out of the way, but our opponent just went through all that efforts just to out-tempo us, so I'm actually fine with this. Opponent does have the 4 colors. I am gonna block here. Now, all of a sudden, Captain's Call is a lot better now, so we're gonna just cast that. Opponent does have another Talus Lookout, but we now have combat tricks galore. Let's see if our opponent blocks. They do. We have him take up the shield. Opponent does get to does get a card, and we do have to can one of our soldiers, but that's where Benevolent Sleeper comes in. And we kind of have to do it because we cannot allow our opponent to have the choice. Yeah, we kind of had to give our opponent several cards. Next turn, we don't have the red mana, but not that we need it. If our opponent just plays a single creature, it's just Sleeper again. Heroic Charge. Okay, Heroic Charge also an option. We need to stop drawing lands at this point. Opponent does have the full domain, so this is going to be interesting. We have Heroic Charge to punch through, but well, we did D2 Amplifier to bounce the token. Makes sense. Please, can we stop drawing lands? Sometimes unfortunately, this is probably how we lose. We just draw way too many lands. We are running exactly 17 lands, so we are kind of less than half right now. Now we have to post. Oh, come on! Game! What gives? We do have some removal we could draw into. Opponent does go for like Monstrosity into Terror. I probably just have to take this one. Yeah, opponent does clearly has a combat trick of some sort, so something to keep in mind. Flowstone Infusion just takes one out. Well, we got the Destroy Evil for the other one. So we're kind of racing. Yeah, we'll just hold on to this. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lands. So we got... One is holding back. Okay, Captain's Call. Let's see if that's a negate in their hand. Nope, not a negate, so we can hold. So we probably should swing when we have... well, let's be fair also. Our opponent also has like 9 lands. They got a second Terror. That's fine, I suppose. Okay, no respect. Sacred Peaks, but not. So I might have to chump block at this point. I could swing, but no, I don't. I need to hold back too for. Well, opponent was able to draft the Tolarian Terror deck, so good for them. Well, we're in chump block mode. We just need to have more creatures. I guess we... Let's see if our opponent has the burn for this. We really need some help. I guess our opponent could swing with... Okay, actually, this is where math gets interesting here. Let's say our opponent swings to 3. I can block with 2 tokens. I take a risk by not blocking with Sleeper, but it does give us... They might have a fight effect, which takes out the... Oh, no, opponent's playing really conservative. Does our opponent have a trample effect? Oh, they did. Okay. We couldn't play around it, but that is kind of how our deck unfortunately operates. We have to win. Do I want to cut land? Unfortunately, no. I really don't want to cut. I don't think I can afford to cut lands here, because we are running a 5 drop. We are running a 6 drop. Although there are some arguments for cutting some of it. And also sanity check. Yeah, this is any target. That would have been really helpful. But yeah, sometimes the game. Like there was one person that complained. I remembered reading up complaining. Oh, I'm running a 26 land. I'm running a 26 land deck, and I can only get 2 to 3 lands. Well, my comment would be, hey, at least sometimes flooding is even worse. Well, I didn't exactly say that. Also, this is actually a very questionable keep, because we actually do have a number of yeah, and this is now considered a very questionable keep. Yeah, like sure we have Archangel of Wrath, but I'm probably a long ways from kicking it or whatnot. Opponent goes Samite Herbalist, which is a big deal. I was willing to keep this because it hits all our mono white, but I'm already not feeling so great. Just hard casting Archangel without any kicker. Though it does look like our opponent's deck it's gonna be spells heavy. I might just have to play it. Like sure we have a Samite Herbalist, but we also have options. Like we have the Destroy Evil if we need to. Well, they also might have a Destroy Evil, which would be really annoying, but we can't really do anything about that. Probably just end up having to destroy evil, destroy evil as much as we can. Opponent has a Clockwork Drawbridge, which we can't destroy evil. It's because it's not evil. It's a drawbridge. But at least we get one hit in, so yeah, not so bad. The tortoise is a bigger problem, but I definitely have to. Opponent giving it up. That was super sus. Anyway, since we know our opponent is going to be spending 3 mana every time, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, technically an artillery blast can now also kill the Archangel. Also this, I'm gonna try putting different lands. Guys, Urban Legend. Not so create for each defender. So 1, 2, okay. Okay, not too bad. Let's see. I would love to get the Scry through though. Also our opponent, yeah, you might as well tap that. The Scry one is quite important here. That's an auto block. There is no reason to take 5. Also, yeah, the Scry one's actually not. That one's actually a good Scry. I probably would have preferred to have an. Also, don't swing the token. If we can start paring down our opponent's board, we're all for it. We also need to start trading. Opponent casts another drawbridge, so into another herbalist. Okay, so they're not drawbridging it through. They're probably gonna. They might swing. They might start swinging with the herbalists. I think. Oh no, they're swinging. Bird token's a weird swing. I'll take it. I probably would not swing with Wrath. I would double block. Okay, resolve. with toughness 4 or greater. There's no enchantment either, so yeah, this is not a league. Destroy creature with toughness 4. Oh yeah, my own creature. No, thank you. Okay, now that's a good scry down. Opponent has founding the third path. They might skip ahead to, well, probably not exile. They might just go for the target player mills 4 cards, but yeah, that, let's see. Not too bad. 50-50. So destroy evil, destroy target enchantment. Let's see. They don't really have a target. Wait. From your graveyard. Okay, so they don't have a real target, so we'll swing. We are admittedly one bad removal. Well, hopefully it's a... Oh, opponent's now flooding. That said, we know our opponent can tap these 2 down. Oh, they're going for the vigilance play. Does opponent did opponent forget that I actually want to trade creatures? Yeah, that's why they're doing this. Though, is that the most cost-effective play? I wouldn't know. I'm definitely swinging art with... Oh, you're... Well, first things first, let's take away their card advantage. Yeah, this would be 0-3, so I'm free to swing with this. Yeah, Benelish Sleeper's a good pick here. Opponent's now trading, which I'm perfectly fine with at this point because it does give us a live Weatherlight. Yeah, definitely still keeping that on top. And shall I? I shall. Opponent hits an Argivan Phalanx. They, though, kind of need... Well, they do have Clockwork Drawbridge. They can choose to probably tap one of these. I'm so tempted to just go for this, but probably not. I'm probably just willing to swing with these two. Yeah, they don't want me gaining more life. That's fine. Now I will still go for Benelish Sleeper here because it gets me a free scry, which is quite important because I need to, because the last thing I want to do is start bricking or start flooding again. So see, that's a good one to take. Also, it sets us up for heroic charge since our opponent's kind of invested into, well, holding back 3 mana. But that's game. Well, we'll take the 5, but that's pretty much game. Yeah, you need the right deck to make this one work. Well, fortunately for us, what we have is the right deck. Opponent now has to tap the Weatherlight, which makes sense. Yeah. If the opponent's really smart, they would. Oh, well. Then again, I guess they might have been afraid I had the death touch, so stacking multiple creatures not exactly the best play. Well, not that it mattered anyway. We got our win there. Pretty solid one at that. Yeah, we didn't get much value. We got a lot more value from a 3/4 flying lifelinker. Kicker be darn. But we'll take that. That's a nice first win to start us off. Again, we want to get a minimum. I will begrudgingly accept 3 wins. 4 wins is the bare minimum. 5 and more, I will be really happy. Okay, so this one is a much better curve. Herbalist into Benelish Sleeper if we need to. And if we don't actually have to sack anything, we could just go Argive and Phalanx already at that point. Samite Herbalist probably gonna be one of the more important creatures. Just even if you have to kind of suicide it just to get the Scry 1. The Scry 1's is probably the biggest deal here. Let's see, if our opponent happens to drop a really high toughness creature, Destroy Evil is incidentally very good. Now, this one is incidentally very bad because Can't think it's true. Because I know I can play this one next turn. But it means we need to hit our land, so I have to begrudgingly keep this land on top. I was gonna say that there's a weird universe where our opponent does that, so we're actually not going to kick Benelish Sleeper. So next turn we can drop Griffin Protector into Shalai's Acolyte. Maybe hold off Argive and Phalanx for much later. Opponent dropping another Cavalier. Yeah, if our opponent offers to swing, I will. Now there is a 1 mana +2/+2. I am okay with our opponent using it up. So, hey Joseph, thank you for sharing the stream. Although we more normally meet from Pokemon Unite, it's nice that you. Actually, interesting question. Do you enjoy this content as well? Do you enjoy like playing Magic and whatnot? I'm actually very curious. But many thanks for the support as well. That's yep, as predicted. But better this way than the other way. So I kind of still want to scry. Yeah, Sleeper is still fine here. Opponent is still taking it, so yeah, taking it like champ. Okay. So let's see our options here. Opponent's clearly playing white-green. It's also a go-wide deck. Now, I know our opponent's telegraphing, but we kind of have better things to do. Also, our life total is way higher, so I'm actually willing to just take it. That's fine. Like, yeah, sure, we go down to 7, but... Now, as much as I want to swing with this, we're actually going to hold back. Archangel of Wrath's perfect here. Shame we don't have a red source, but that's fine. I kind of anticipated kicking half the time anyway. Now, if our opponent happens to have another heroic charge, we do have to do a safety block now. So it's +2/+1. If I want to ensure something dies, I would have to block here, block here. We would go down to 1. Okay, opponent goes Citizen's Arrest. Probably shall I? Okay. Now we could just destroy. We could just destroy that, but I have other. Now our opponent could also just enlist, in which case I am willing to trade Griffin Protector here. Opponent is not enlisting. Black Kicker. And because the lifelink is also helpful here in this case. Now we're only swinging with Herbalist. I don't think we need to land anymore. So what I can do is I can actually just well, we're probably gonna destroy evil, but we're gonna hold on to that. We might have other things to do with it. Knight of Dawn's Light. This is a concern because it's it has a pump effect. I'm probably still gonna just swing with the board as it is. Relic of Legends. That gives us. Now, an interesting thing we can do is let our opponent pump this to 4 and just destroy evil. But we don't have anything that encourages our opponent to do. Well, if there's anything that will encourage our opponent to do that, is to let it go through unblocked. Which is kind of doubtful considering we. Okay, opponent finally hits their second green source. So they might have something big to drop. Again, we also have to remember. Destroy evil on Citizen's Arrest is still an option. But again, I am trying to bait out a pump effect. Pump, okay. Pump again. Pump one more. I tried my best to click this really fast, but there's a very good chance that okay, he's not biting it. So I'm going to actually destroy it now. They might have a way to protect it, but I'm fine if they use it that way. Lifelink. Okay, so a bit annoying, but not the end of the world there. Not when we can extinguish the light afterwards. Probably play Benlish Sleeper now. And I'm feeling frisky. I'm gonna swing with everyone. Yeah, Captain's Call's perfect here. Archangel of Wrath doing a really good job. I'm very glad this was my pack 1 pick 1. No, I did not talk myself out of it at any point. Well, which is certain. I was even tempted to do so, but yeah. So now we have the Captain's Call, Griffin Protector, and we can throw the Phalanx in for good measure. That will all of a sudden make this Griffin Protector a bit too big. I'm trying to remember also if there's a mono white rat effect. I know black has one, but it's kind of a domain effect. Blue has one. Does white have to destroy all creatures? I don't think it does. You know what? Yeah, that's my unfamiliarity. I am going to now go on Gather to start searching. Card set. Dominaria United. Search by color, white. And, well, looks like our opponent kind of timed out at this point. Let's see. Archangel of Wrath. Artillery Blast. Yeah, we're trying to look for a destroy all creatures type effect. Something to keep in mind because it's so tempting to just drop everything. I would have loved to take a Leyline Binding. That thing's actually $10. Who would have thought? Oh, temporary lockdown. That's the mono white rat effect. It only hits mana value 2 or less, but it's perfect against tokens. It would hit a lot of my creature. It would hit a lot of my stuff here, actually. So that one shot destroy evil was not so bad. Yeah, looks like our opponent is decided to just Alt F4 out of the world. Okay, no, but guys, seriously, if you're playing on mobile, don't just throw your phone off this side. Have at least the decency to concede first. It's much better than what you're doing now because now I have plenty of time to report a bug, capture log, and contact support. Report conduct. Okay, so you get our multiple triggers. Yeah, and that's game. I don't even. Well, I'm still reporting anyway. If it's a once in a while thing, they will know that you're not making a habit out of it. It's fine. If you do start making a habit out of it, that's not fine anymore. It's J Florentine 8. J Florentine 8. So give me a second. What type of stalling? Okay, submit. Okay, there we go. Now let's see, not too bad. Let's see if we can back to our regular programming. Yeah, that did give us some time to start looking into other things. Our opponent did have a decent defender plan, but I'm starting to notice that defenders are kind of all over the place. We cannot keep this hand. Like, sure, I can lead on Weatherlight completed, and again we have that option. This is much more keepable because at least we have something to get to. We have something to get to. If we happen to draw any of our other cards, we're fine. And like if our opponent decides to snipe Archangel, if we draw another creature in the middle, like Samite Healer is perfect. It gives us the option to wait around a bit and kick Archangel of Wrath. If our opponent wants to spend a Lightning Strike or some cut down, perfectly fine too. The scry is, oh, that's okay, perfect sequencing. I like that. Opponent is rocking the 3 colors. Now we're probably not gonna snipe the Kavu with Archangel of Wrath. Maybe if we hit our, we might be able to snipe the Griffin Protector though. Well, there's also extinguish the light for that option, but we're gonna see how our opponent does. If they decide to just block, oh no, they didn't block. That's kind of expected. Do I want to extinguish? Because I could just extinguish this right away. I'm sure I'm taking 2 damage, but that's fine. I want our opponent to block. Not so sure. Our opponent might have their own captain's call, which would be somewhat annoying, but then again, it allows us to Archangel of Wrath hit one of their tokens. Opponent goes for the lightning strike instead, which is fine. Yeah, definitely want those reinforcements up. Opponent might... Nice thing about Destroy Evil is that it kind of missed. Okay, so I have 2 options. I can Archangel of Wrath, just ding our opponent a bit, have this eat a removal spell. I can also just flash in the Resolute reinforcements because we're not that much in a hurry. And our opponent hasn't exactly demonstrated that either. Also, we'll swing first. Yeah, since we now have a race situation, we're going to race. Now, holding back this long is okay. That's actually a bit more acceptable now. Now, unfortunately, our opponent can now just pump this. I could just swing with everything. Basically signaling to our opponent that I want them to... That I want to get Weatherlight completed up. Okay, gotta destroy evil, so that's a part. So our opponent pumping is also fine. But we're still gonna keep that up top. Now our opponent might have a way to protect, but at least they missed the window for... At least they missed the window for actually benefiting from the lifelink, so we'll take that. That's actually not too bad, because I still gained the life. Now, our opponent could also have their equivalent of a Destroy Evil. Yeah, but it looks like the Air Force is rocking. And the opponent concedes. Yeah, looks like the Air Force got through. And with that, we're in gold tier 4. Also, many apologies for yeah, that one's a bit strange. I suspect it's the way the water is filtered in here. But there, let's see if we can. Let's keep going. I'm just looking at the way Facebook auto captions this. It just says Napoleon concedes. Hey, what gives? Okay, so this one is a sketchy keep. We are one. We are 1 mana shy of at least getting Aaron, and it has to be very specific. I'm trying. I am. It's kind of it's super sketch, admittedly. No, at least we hit the right colors. So I'm actually gonna cast this now. Essence Scatter is still a thing. Now that said, our opponent could also just hold Essence Scatter for Aaron, which is not also just as bad, but well, first I'm gonna commit these anyway, since it looks like our opponent did not swing with this. Okay, that's super weird. I'm expecting an Essence Scatter, so bye bye Aaron. You kind of got ruined there. Really curious what our opponent's up to. Well, also they're not okay. They dropped their third land. Joint exploration, so this would be a Now, generally, Essence Scatter is higher in the pick order versus a negate, so I'm willing to give this one a shot. I would prefer to see if our opponent actually casts anything. Well, they got something in mind, which is nothing. Okay. Let's just cast Captain's Call. Now, temporary lockdown would be really annoying, but looks like they let it through. It also locks down their illusionist, so no harm, no foul there, I guess. Opponent, okay, 4 colors of domain now to 5. So first things first, cast the Argivian Phalanx because while it's still cheap, let's see if our opponent is willing to finally trade or something to that effect. No, opponent's really taking it. What a champ. Maybe they have a leyline binding, so that would be Fires of Victory. 4 mana. They don't kick it, so that was an emergency removal. I'm fine with that, actually. Since our opponent has committed themselves to taking a lot of damage down on the ground. Now this is a whenever it becomes tapped, so I like the idea, just yeah, we're now gonna just push with everyone. I guess I could play Shali's Acolyte, if only to have something big to go alongside all these other small dudes. Yeah, we kind of curved out. We curved out really well there, all things considered. Yeah, sometimes a 5-mana 3/4 is still fine. Opponent, yeah, still 4 colors of domain. I think they maxed out at 4. Looks like they went for the all domain special. That's why their lands are all over the place. It's not the worst thing to happen, but let's see. If they're going for temporary lockdown, they're missing a second white mana. We should keep pushing while that's the case. They have Artillery Blast. Artillery Blast would definitely be live, so I am still swinging with everything. I have, if I can get our opponent to commit, I will. Okay. So I'm not dropping this one because there's there's no reason to. Opponent has to use the lightning strike there. There is the rare firestorm, so that would wipe our entire board. So no need to commit this one if we don't have to. Opponent just commits a Tatiova instead. Yeah, we got Elas Ilkor, so no matter, well, between that and the board, they were Omayawamo Shinderu. Okay, so there we go. Pretty solid. We're into our 4th win. Let's keep going. Oh yeah, I've actually been meaning to ask all. No, I guess I'll ask some Joseph. I'm outside the stream. This one's a bit different. Because yeah, I need to I'll need to double check. It's either him or it's one of our other squad mates. Anyway, this one's also another fast keep. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Like, we could go Weatherlight completed right away, but I want to, if our opponent drops something that can block. Okay, now we scare them. Sacred Peaks, yeah, we'll keep that up top because I'm planning to drop Cavalier instead. Opponent actually, yeah, not trading. Mesa Cavalier, okay. So we're trading that way. Definitely want the swamp, especially because that gives us a super live Archangel of Wrath. Shield Wall Sentinel. Opponent does have a Blight Pile, so it looks like they're going for that strategy. I don't technically need the second swamp. Watch me regret that when I draw into Extinguish the Light. Now let's see, because this one is each opponent loses where X is the number of creatures with Defender you control. That's 3 mana for 2. I think I'd rather just force him to spend 3 mana for 1. Because yeah, it neuters their Blight Pile plan really greatly. They do have a Destroy Evil, so okay, maybe I do bin this on the bottom now. Walking Bulwark into a Blight Pile. I can still, well, I'm definitely definitely Cavaliering this one. Well, first things first, we cast the Phalanx because if I can cast it for cheap, I should. We are kind of winning the race though. Griffin Protector is fine. Yeah, I figured it would eventually get that trade. So we are in trouble up on the air. Okay, maybe not so much anymore. You might catch our opponent by surprise. Might. Depends. They might still have a They might still have a kill spell. Fire Action Warhorse, not a kill spell, so we might be able to catch them unawares. Like, all it takes is a few really bad blocks, and we... Let's see if our opponent's disciplined enough. Well, they're trading the horse anyway. And we get the kicker as well. Hey, we got through! I think our opponent really wanted to go for the Blight Pile plan, but they were so hesitant to offer their defenders, but they were not well, they had no idea that they were about to get run over. If you're not familiar with the set, you would not realize that the kicker was trample. But we'll take that to our benefit, and so now we've more than broken even here. So everything else is gravy, but we're still going. But we're still gonna keep on going. I am really enjoying Dominaria United as a draft format. Yeah, sure, we kinda were right. Well, in this case, the Weatherlight completed was nothing more than a glorified scry stick. Okay, definitely keeping this. We got turn 2 into turn 3 if we have to. If we don't have to kick Sleeper, we can get Phalanx turn 4. Well, alternately, we have Cavalier, so that does give us Phalanx next turn. Opponent goes Lone Speaker. Well, we are not sleeping that one, unfortunately. Now, this activates only as a sorcery, so not too bad on that front. Opponent goes Wall. If I go Benelish Sleeper, there's a very good chance our opponent just sacks the wall. So I could just go Cavalier instead. Opponent's rocking 3 colors so far. Got our Samite Healer. Yeah, we're gonna rock the Enlist here just to get past the Lone Speaker. It also gives us 3 mana Phalanx if we don't give up any creatures. Alternately, it gives us fodder for Benelish Sleeper, so not too bad there either. Though Benelish Sleeper not looking so good in this respect, but at least having a 4/4 is a better shot. And we can like Cavalier into a 4 power also, and still get the benefit of Herbalist. Now, if we don't draw mana, this is now interesting. I'm gonna go for the Sleeper first. As much as I'd like to go Ella's Ilkor, I need to start paring down their board a bit. And we can now do the predictable attack. And we can safely scry, hopefully for another land. Perfect. That's perfect. Opponent might have removal. Yes, it is what it is. Flowstone Infusion. Sure, that's fine. So next turn we can actually Herbalist Ella's. So definitely LS first before Herbalist, then swing with Venalish Sleeper. Opponent's sandbagging quite a bit. Now they might also just have additional removal, so me playing this one might not make a big effect, but still worth something. And it does use up more. It does use our mana more efficiently. Something I've definitely learned for the most part. Prayer of Binding, exile. Okay, that's not the worst thing to happen. Our opponent did have to tap this, so they are a super domain deck. They're really just missing white. Something to keep in mind here. So, but they are hitting all. I could still attack with this. Let's see. All other attacking creatures you control get... Okay, it doesn't affect itself, so... We will swing with Venalish Sleeper. Opponent probably trades... Okay, they didn't trade for that, so... We're going Warhorse. Now, we don't have the mana to pump the Warhorse, but I am willing to throw the Warhorse under the Fury Rider. If our opponent tries to offer a land, Care of Loam Speaker, I might take that option. Bite down. Okay, okay. That's another removal spell gone. I could trade both Herbalists in. So I can now go Sleeper Phalanx. And I would also note that this does not affect these other creatures, so it will just be an attacking 3/3. Yeah, opponent's not giving that up. So Phalanx, Venalish Sleeper, kick. Opponent might, yeah, they have to give up on their smaller creatures. You have to remember this only activates as a sorcery, so you're not turning your... Well, opponent's not even trying. We do need to get more gas at this point. Kyrian Beast Caller, missing spells. I am going to swing with everything, only because I need to start scrying. Destroy Evil is fine. So some scry that was, but it does unlock Ella's. Okay. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it gets redistributed. That's fine. So most likely what I do is I take out the Prayer of Binding. No, opponent concedes. Looks like they went spread out so far in the colors, but still needed the actual... What was their biggest creep? They were playing the legendaries. They had the Beast Caller, but as far as a really solid creature is concerned, did not exactly... Well, if we enumerate the components of a very good draft, you definitely want to have a bomb or two, but that one's a given. If you see it, you will definitely take it. Otherwise, what you want is okay. Originally it's bombs, but you definitely want removal. You definitely want card advantage. It's definitely a combination of a removal, card advantage, a very big creature. Now, Dominaria United is actually very good here in the sense that there's a cycle of very big creatures that only that can become cheaper. They only look expensive on the surface, but they have some decent cost reduction. That one deck with the triple Talarian Terror, that was a very nasty example of that. A very good example, that I might say as well. Wow, we're now running into diamond players. So, well, thank goodness the game is still happy to give us turn 2 Herbalist, turn 3 Sleeper. Is there a world where I would sack the Sleeper and keep swinging with Herbalist? This might actually be it, because after the turn 4 Protector, we kind of need help. Also, that Nishova Brawler is not going to get better. Yeah, also because we hit our 5th land. Okay, this is perfect. Conan. Scout the Wilderness. So, yeah, it looks like Domain is very popular, but we're kind of going to be able to dodge it a bit. So, Captain's Call is perfect. It really should put the fear of God when a player keeps keeping the top card up. Now I'm very happy to. Oh, might as well. Now I'm very happy to trade the Samite Herbalist into Swamp. Don't really. Oh, opponent takes it. Now, to be fair, we don't have the red for Heroic Charge, so... Oh, wow. I think this might be the strategy. If everyone is going to be playing around with Domain, with all those tapped mana bases, you really want to get super aggro. So traditional main one color that's very aggro, then splash a second color might still be it. Oh, wow. That's... well, opponent does get 2 tokens, but... let's see how our opponent blocks. I suspect yeah, they're blocking the biggest ones, but... I almost did not take Heroic Charge, to be honest, but we'll take it. Woo! That's a very solid pick. Hello? Oh, sige. Yeah, and a very good time to call it the evening. I think this is our last game. That's all the way to an X7, if I'm not mistaken, or do I still have one more? No, we all the way to the X7. So very solid run for us. Yeah, sometimes keeping it simple is still the best strategy, and we are very happy with that. So that's going to be it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. And oh wow, look at all these packs. We're just going to crack them as we go. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Nice. Turn on notifications and whatnot. I am having problems doing upgrading the pre-con series. I kind of had a bit of a stalled start. It really doesn't help that the regular events are now super hyper competitive that I can't, and hyper pricey that I can't exactly use them as a way to gauge the deck anymore. And it also doesn't help that when I go on play queue, there are people that are, well, actually having someone play a tier deck once in a while is not that bad. I think it's like 1 in every 4 or 5, so it's not the worst. I guess it still gives me a decent gauge, so I'm working. I'll work on that, but we still have a few events in between, so we will get to that shortly. Just give me some time, collect all the cards that I need. that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Many thanks to Jericho Ilagan. Many thanks to Joseph Timbol. Thank you guys for all your support. That's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.